Oh, that's bright. It's a little too bright for me. I'm going to turn the camera this way. Uh, I'll just tell you that, well, hi. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Uh, well, I was planning to work out and fast and get in really good shape again because I felt really bad about the way I look and feel or felt. I don't know. I'm grateful I have my health. I've been in good health, but I just haven't looked or felt that great compared to how I used to a few years ago. And so I was going to lose weight and I started to fast a bunch. And then God let me know that it would be wrong if I kept trying to look better and better. And so I'm not supposed to do it right now for some reason. I don't know why. But God has a perfect timing for everything. And it's been really difficult to keep living. I kind of gave up. I was used to having my wife and kids at home, and they were taken away from me for 10 years. So I don't really like living by myself, and it just brings back bad memories of how low it felt before I met my wife when I had to go to California on my own and be kind of poor and stuff and alone, and I just didn't like it. And so I've had to go back to that but without the poor. I had plenty of money now, but it still feels it, but it felt worse. It felt actually worse than when I was poor and alone. So I don't know why. Wait, I could think about it, but well, it's because I had her and the kids, and then they're taken away from me. So, or I don't know if they're taken away from me. Well, the devil took them away from me. I don't know, but so there's like a perfect timing for everything, and we're supposed to have patience, and it's been really difficult because I had to have patience. But you might have patience, and maybe it's easier for you. And if you haven't gotten married to somebody, maybe you have it like okay, like you are now. Like if you're single or something, or if you're single, or I don't know. And so I'm never gonna fornicate ever again. I know it's wrong, and so I don't want to ever do it again. I found out it's wrong, and so I'm hoping to get my wife and kids back because, well, we were talking on the phone every day, and then I was supposed to go to Texas, but I wasn't really ready because all the scary crap happened, and I was afraid to go on a plane to see him again. I'd already been there 8 times, and I think I may have to go again. I don't know, but so I don't know, but I got a little bit like I got a little bit like, you know, it's not for me. It's not depressed for me or anything. I'm not sad now, but Like, I could give a shit less if somebody put a fucking gun to my head and killed me, you know. But I'm supposed to keep living for Danica and the kids. Like, it's kind of funny as shit if I fucking died, you know. But I'm not planning to kill myself. But you know, it's like I wouldn't be sad right now or something, you know. I don't know if you have any idea of how bad it feels to have been as depressed as I was. I hoped to die 32,000 times. I don't know if you have any idea of how bad it felt to be me. So, uh, you probably never met anyone as depressed as I was. But God wouldn't let me kill myself, no matter how much I hoped to die, to be at peace from how bad it felt to be alive. And so, like, I don't know if any of, like, right now I'm not sad. Like, uh I don't even give a shit, and that's what I just told you. So sometimes I get sad, but it's for Danica and the kids, because if I die, I don't know how they'd how they'd make it to heaven. I don't know how they'd make it to heaven. So I had to keep living for them. But like, God wouldn't let me do a violent act to myself. Like, I couldn't kill my body. It was so healthy that, like, there's almost no way it could have killed my entire body without, like, ending up, like, keep living and being crippled or something like that. So I couldn't find a way to kill myself. So I was really depressed, but I haven't been depressed for weeks now. And you know, for many years, it was about every day that I'd give up and hope with all my heart and soul to die. And I don't think my children understand that, and I hope they don't hear this, because they wouldn't really want to ever have to feel as bad as I've had to feel. And see, the reason why I have God and Jesus now is because I was lost, or not lost. Wait, I always had God. I always had God, I think. I don't know. And but I got misled in my faith, and I thought it was cool to be against Jesus. A little bit, like, well, you know, his way wasn't really. I thought, like, I almost talked against him at one time, and I got misled in my faith, and I became a mean person because of how mean others were to me. And I had felt so low, I thought I was going to die. So I started intentionally being mean to others for personal gain. And that was like the last 2 years that I was in California. You know, I'd had enough. Like, I wasn't seeing the results for my work, and I had worked at least 14 hours a day, you know, since I was 20. About when I turned 20, I said it's not getting there. I'm not getting the results enough. So I had to work really hard. And then after about 5 years of that, I got so weak from editing in a bedridden, so long, and I don't know, that I couldn't keep working that hard without others trying to, like, not give a shit if I died. Like, even a nice old lady walked by on the sidewalk and didn't care if I died or what. And I thought, well, I guess that's just how the world is. They're all really mean. And so something kind of snapped and changed about me, and I got really like a mean jerk. I became a mean jerk the last 2 years I was in California. And and um and because of that, when I moved back to Roanoke, I became depressed. I was, like, intentionally mean to others, and I thought it, like, helped me be stronger or something, stupid little way that I was. And I was, like, mean to them in some mean way to others, like the passerby or anybody. It was pretty bad. And um and um and it all came back to me, because God says it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So when I went back to Roanoke, I had to go back to a small town to edit my film, and I turned 28 or 29 or 30. Wait, no. It was in the year 2006. I had been back in Roanoke for a year, and I became very depressed because I had to work as a real estate agent. Like, yep, I'm a real estate agent in a small town with a suit, and it was like I hated it. I could barely. I couldn't keep doing it. I had to work with my mom, and it was like this tremendous. It was like I had to. Uh, it was like willpower or some. Not willpower. It was like built up really big and really hard to do for her to make a bunch of money, and she pretty much made it like I was only her assistant. And she didn't even make that much money, but I made a bunch of money from it. I saved $10,000, and then I became really depressed because I didn't like doing it, and I had hoped to be really famous from my really hard work in California, and for some reason it all came back to me when I was mean to them, when I started being mean to them to keep working at my personal goals. Because, see, if you make selfish ambition, it causes disorder and all evil things. So, this is from the Bible. This is not from some crazy ass Ozzy Osbourne occult book or Led Zeppelin that they try to make you think they're into that weird shit. And then they try to, like, get people to, like, read some of those weird occult books or something, and then when they do that, it hurts themselves really bad. Like it all comes back to them way worse than ever, and it causes depression and stuff like that. So I didn't know, and I didn't really study the books or anything, but like I read a little bit about it, and I just started kind of being mean to everybody, and and so it all came back to me, and it made me really depressed, and and the shitty ass thing is the devil tricked me because I was misled in my faith back in Virginia, and I got like they made me do this shit that wasn't even for me. Like the devil threatened me with well, before I was ever afraid of police, then I had to be persecuted for it. But that it's like all this bad stuff happened, but supposedly there's a good timing and I'll get to be at peace and be with my wife and kids, but I don't know what's going to happen. But I know that I'm going to have a I have a good future. God told me I'm going to have a good future, but it's so frightening what may happen before that happens. So, like, I have to keep living because of Ayla right now. Because if I give up, well, I can't just give up because there's no way to kill myself. You know, I can't violently kill myself, but you know, I don't know what's going to happen. It may be peaceful from here on out, and that's a miracle because it hasn't been so far, and it hasn't been very far, and so I'm just going to delete this video. Okay, bye. I don't know. I'm gonna see what people are commenting if I can help them. Oh, just believe in God and Jesus before it's too late. Because I didn't know, and like I started being kind of mean to people. And I thought maybe there wasn't a God, and it caused me so many problems. It caused depression, turmoil, craziness, unrest, long hours of work, hard labor, uh, uh, persecution by authorities, my worst fears, a waking nightmare of hell shown to me, and I had to go to work in it out there at shit that I didn't believe in, and it was really frightening. And so, like, don't don't be lost, or go to God, believe in God and Jesus with all you have. Believe in God before it's too late. Before it's too late. So I'm going to turn off this video. I'm trying to look at the chat, but I can't even. It's not letting me do the thing that I was talking about, because what I was doing was talking about the wrong things. So I'm going to delete this video. Hi, I can't see any fucking comments. That's usually not the way that I am, but, you you're supposed to have patience, or a huge amount of patience. Well, it doesn't feel huge. It feels like there's almost nothing there for you to feel good about. And, it's like it's patience, but I don't really understand it that much, but I've had to have a bunch of it. Like self control and patience. It's also called self control and patience. It's like not giving into temptation, um, doing without things that you think that you that you used to think that you might need, not cursing like I just cursed out loud. I don't know. I don't know. Patience is something that you're supposed to have. Oh, now I can read the comments. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get to play at bars or shows or. No, Hollywood's not satanic. They're the same as they're it's the same as actually when my wife and I were there, we didn't get tempted. We didn't get tempted to be with any other people. I'm not angry about it. I'm just saying that if we had stayed in California, I think we would have gotten to stay together right now, or the whole time. I don't know, but I know it's not satanic. I didn't meet anyone bad the whole time I was there, from 1997 to 2005. When I was 19, I moved there in 1997 on my own. I didn't meet anyone bad there the entire time, and I don't even know if I met any famous people or not, but I think I saw a few. Well, I know I saw a bunch of them, and I met some famous people too. Yeah, of course, famous, but I don't know, super famous. I don't know if I really met them or not, even if I shook their hand and said hi. I don't know if that was really meeting who they are. But they're good. Some of them are good. My professor was a Academy Award nominated director, and I met a bunch of famous people now since, I don't know. But I better turn off the video. No, God's not. Oh, well, the way you said that, see, the lowercase God, false God, is gay, but he's straight, gay. He doesn't care. He's an it. He is the sin itself. He's the devil. But I better go. This didn't go as I had thought it would, so I'm going to delete the video. I thought it was going to be a nice video, but it just was kind of mean sounding. Okay, well, believe in God before it's too late. Okay, bye.